Mhm. Okay, hey everybody. So I'm going to be recording this Navigating Astral series instead of doing it live, and I'm going to be posting it for everybody on my YouTube and my Facebook page. Okay, so this session is Navigating Astral, lucid dreaming, and confirming what you see is real. Hold on, having a little moment here. So to recap, we've spoke about telepathy, different entities in the realms, timelines and navigating through them, and finding our mind space. Those aren't yet posted on YouTube, but I feel called to go ahead and say this one for everybody. And go ahead and do this session for everybody. So I did have a few messages. First, that it's being streamed on my YouTube. I'm writing a course for people to take online. I do have new healing products, as you can see here behind me. And I wrote a book, which I'll talk about more in the future. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the benefits of the astral realm. You can obtain a job or an object. You can connect your energy in the astral realm to something that you want to achieve. So for example, if you really, really want this job, you can go into the astral realm, find yourself at that job, and pull your energy to that job and pull the job to you. And without speaking out loud, you can manifest it just using the energy around you of the astral realm. You can block people or energies just like you block somebody on Instagram. You can block their energy. You can relocate. So if you want to move somewhere, you can go ahead and take your energy and put it there and keep putting it there until it's familiar to you. And then eventually you'll be able to relocate there with no issues. You'll actually find it a little bit easier to relocate with that technique. Home protection, you can put up a lot of extra walls around your home. Healing work, of course, you can do Reiki. You can be able to see where somebody needs help and healing just using the energies of the astral realm. And past life recall. Oh, by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to be mentioning a few techniques to properly go into the Akashic Records. But for us, for our YouTube page, you're not going to see that next episode for a while. But for the flow shop and the kingdom that I was working with, it's going to be next week. Lucid dreaming. So it's when you become aware that you're dreaming. You can also fall asleep with the intention of tapping into lucid dreaming. If you go to sleep lying on your back and intentionally filter through the brainwaves, you'll be in a lucid dream phase, in a lucid dream state. So with that being said, if you lie down and filter through the brainwaves being like theta to delta, you can consciously pull your mind into that lucid dreaming state and then guide yourself through the dream realm. You can revisit old dreams, just do what you will with it. So these are the brainwaves. This is where you are when you're meditating, and most of the time, this is where you are when you're going into the astral realm. This is where you are when you're deep sleep. So you can go from here down to here, consciously pull your brainwaves through, pull them through. If you want to scratch, don't scratch. Sometimes your body will start twitching to make sure you're falling asleep. Just don't move. And then you'll be able to access the dream state consciously and navigate through them. So there's a lot of things that go along with brainwave control. When you have full control of your brainwaves, you can snap into the astral realm and not feel drained after. You can easily transition to lucid dreaming during a nightmare or visitation. Sometimes we have meetings with galactic beings in our sleep, and we want to answer them and ask questions with a conscious mind. Practicing brainwave control in our daily life will strengthen this ability and make it easier to transition and protect yourself. So with the galactic beings, sometimes they will come visit us in our sleep. So we want to ask questions and we want to get more knowledge behind while they're there. Sorry, getting a little tongue-tied. Sometimes we want to get more knowledge and find out why they are there. So what does practicing brainwave control look like? So first of all, you want to control your thoughts. Try not to let your mind wander and think structured and organized thoughts. So for example, like if you're starting to think about something, but you need to be focused on something else, control your thoughts and make sure that you don't wander off. Practice going to sleep on command. If you cannot fall asleep without a fan, put yourself to sleep without the fan. So just retrain your brain and tell it to do things for you on command. Filter out ugly and emotional thoughts. If somebody cuts you off while you're driving, try not to think the ugly thoughts. Filter those thoughts into a structured thought about your goals of the day. So if somebody cuts you off and you just want to curse them out, don't curse them out. Actually, just push that energy, push those emotions away, and just think about something structured for your day. And try to communicate with your pet telepathically. So see if they react to some of their favorite words. So if you have a dog, try to say mentally outside or treat or something like that. Using telepathy is another way to structure your mind and get your brainwaves under control. So how do we know these things work? Sometimes it feels like we aren't making an impact or that we're imagining these things. So you're going to want to try to practice with a partner or lay out an exercise for yourself to confirm that you aren't crazy. I used to like to see where my family members were positioned inside their home before I walked inside. So what that looks like is like sitting in my car and going to the astral realm before I walk into like my mom's house or something. I just want to know where everybody's at in the house. So I like going to the astral realm, see where everybody is, go in the house, and then confirm if I was right or wrong. You can also find other ways to look at places that you're about to visit to confirm that you're really seeing what you think you see. And then you can always team up with somebody, find somebody to go with you and help you by describing things to each other like, oh, do you see purple? No, I see blue. Maybe we're not at the same spot. Or they can confirm things for you like, yes, I see purple. Do you see that structure that's shaped like a tree? Just confirmation and working with each other. So spirit team guidance. Your spirit team is going to be the best guide you have. So you're going to ask your higher self to be with you and help you through these meditations. You can also ask if you need to heal any part of you. So sometimes it's not necessarily blockages, it's just something that you need to clear mentally. Like maybe you have a little bit of extra healing you need to do. And this can help you tap into the astral realm a little bit easier. Also, your team loves to make sure that you have everything that you need. Your internal guidance will help you with downloads. So if you really, really want to go into the astral realm within the next few days, ask for the downloads and you'll wake up with them. So we navigate the astral realms more than we're aware of. So when we become aware, we're very powerful. So tap into lucid dreaming. So when your dream is losing control, you want to be able to take control and move on to the next screen. So like you're somewhere you don't want to be, have a trigger for yourself to know when to tap into lucid dreaming and take control of that dream. Knowing thyself is a very strong skill. We can take control of our dream when we are one with our beliefs and self-protection. So, like, when you know what you believe in and they start trying to question you in your dream, you're not going to have to think twice about the answer, right? And if you start to feel like you're being attacked in the dream, center yourself and become more aware. Yeah, so just pull it in, center yourself, and then proceed any way you see fit. You might find that something is seeking information, so you're going to want to remove yourself and keep valuable information to yourself. You can ask them questions in return. So to like shape the situation, say, why are you here? What are your intentions? What do you want from me? Same thing as intentions, but you get the idea. Just flip the script on. So you may also wield any tools or devices in a dream. Use what you have available to you. So you can just like pull a sword out anywhere, slice them up, do what you will. Galactic visitations. These are some of my favorite things. They like visiting you to relay information or to ask if you would like to work with them. Be mindful and observant because you might not want to work with them. You want to know who's approaching you, if you want to work with them or not. You don't have to prove anything to them. They already know your capabilities if they're in a meeting with you. So if you feel the need to say, oh, I'm capable of this, this, and this, you shouldn't have to because they already know your capabilities. That's why they're there visiting you. So you're going to use this time wisely. So as we know, sleep happens in waves, and you'll only have a small window of opportunity to ask your questions and retain the information. So use your time very wisely. Like While you're thinking about it now, go ahead and write down the questions that you might want to ask when your next visitation is. Kind of download them for yourself, you know. So just make sure you wake yourself up after and journal everything immediately. Most of the time, they're going to be giving you downloads or codes or something to help you activate yourself. Energy centers are chakras. They're very valuable in a lucid dream just because being self-regulated is very valuable. So being balanced and grounded, very powerful tools to have, and it's very much available to you. So preparing for the Akashic Records. This is a sacred place. However, we do all have access to it through our mind space. So what that looks like is going into your mind space, speaking with your higher self, asking for basically the location of it. Hey, show me to the Akashic Records, and in your own mind space, you don't have to go outside of your body anywhere on this earth to find the Akashic Records. It is within you, it is within all of us. And you can go up into the higher chakras and access it. Usually your higher self or one of your guides will go with you just for protection. You're more than welcome to go along if you see fit. Our spirit team will guide us into the higher chakras and into the space. It's going to look like a staircase or an elevator. If you visualize things, it really just depends on how things look like for you. Integrity is very important. You must not go snooping on other people's business. So be intentional with these studies because overall, it is just a history lesson. So just observe, understand, get some information, learn about ancient America, learn about where we came from. Just observe. Don't use it with ill intent because you're just gonna rack up on extra karma because using this space, using your abilities for bad is way worse than subconsciously being bad and sinning. Intentionally sinning and intentionally using an upper hand on somebody is gonna really rack you up with some karma. Side note. So interact with the you're going to interact with the keepers of the records. They're very strict. So I've had people be asked to come back with a clear mind. They ask that you are sober for 24 hours and to respect the space. So that includes mushrooms, alcohol, marijuana. If you take a supplemental anxiety medicine, don't take it. If you take them, you know what I'm referring to. And this is all for the best results. You want to have a good experience when you go up there. Okay, so I know I'm asking here if anybody wants to ask any questions or have any comments. You're more than welcome to leave those under this video and I will get back to them as soon as possible. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Bye.